Hey guys, this is Dabid, and I have today to unbox a special action figure in that it is from a line that I've never unboxed something for a video. Mythic Legions by the Four Horsemen. It's a sort of sci-fi fantasy adventure original line, sort of like a Lord of the Ringsy cross Dark Souls type line. There's orcs, there's humans, there's knights, there's ogres, there's trolls, there's cyclops. There's all kinds there's vampires in this world, but my favorite species in this world are the goblins. So I was hoping that I'd have a new goblin figure that I could unbox first. And as it turns out, I sort of do, in that I have here today Mephitor, which is a Masters of the Universe Homage figure. If you can look at him, if you are at all familiar with He-Man Masters of the Universe stuff, then you can probably immediately tell that this is an homage to the great Stinkor, one of the best evil warriors, in that he's a skunk whose special ability is that he reeks. But in this line, he is not called Stinkor because that would be a lawsuit. He is called Mephitor. And now I'm going to attempt to read the bio for Mephitor with my half-blind eyes. Let's see here. An outcast who hails from the Swale region of Zylonia, Mephitor is a cunning spy who exploits his unique knowledge of his homeland to spy on members of Zylona's flock. A treacherous traitor loyal to none, this scoundrel is willing to work for anyone wealthy enough to pay his price. With a foul ability to direct a spray of toxic gas in his enemy's direction, Mephitor's attack is as unpleasant as it is deadly. Okay, those of you who learned a bunch of useless SAT words like me might know that Mephitis or Mephitic is a Latin-based, word that means something along the lines of like noxious stench, like reeking smell, that sort of thing. So, Stinkor doesn't get the most appealing name, as he should not. Here's just like a backstory on Mythic Legions on the back here. It's got this cool flame demon. I think it's Arethier, who is the demon who rides that cool hell horse that Furman sent me, that I posted some video of here in the group last week. So we are going to open up Mephitor here. These come in resealable packaging, which is a thing that I think is super cool. From the outside of the box, it looks like Stinkor or Mephitor only gets one weapon, which is this blue hilted sword. But in fact, I think there's going to be more stuff inside if the other Mythic Legions figures I have are any indication. So you can just pull that card backer out, enjoy that very interesting card back packaging stuff. Here he is in the bubble, and we can see that there is in fact a little pouch here with some extra stuff that was hidden by the little nameplate thing that was in the package itself. Also, there's a little piece of paper down here. What does this do? And this piece of paper says, joints on Mythic Legions figures can become tight after production when posing Mythic Legions for the first time, especially during cold weather. It's recommended that heat in the form of warm air from a hairdryer or warm water be used on tight joints in order to loosen the joints slightly before posing. Gently rock the joint forward and backwards, or clockwise, counterclockwise, based on type of joint until the joint moves freely. Failure to do so could result in irreparable joint breakage. Okay, so this is a note that the Four Horsemen have included to help me to hopefully not break this figure, but I'm just going to disregard their note entirely because I am about to unbox this figure and move all his joints regardless of anything that they've said. Alright, so we've got a bunch of twisty ties here on the back. I know we all love twisty ties. Twisty ties have kind of fallen out of favor in recent years because of being a waste of plastic, and some people don't want to waste more plastic for no reason, and so a lot of companies are moving away from using styrofoam and excess plastic and things in their toy packaging, but Mephitor does get some. Let's see here. Am I going to be able to undo this twisty tie, what with being half blind? Unclear. All right, so first, let's go over here. We'll go to his little bag of extra accessories. Because this I actually can open because it's just a little plastic bag. And Mephitor gets this extra shoulder armor plate. And also a little tiny Ziploc bag that's got an extra head in it with piercing yellow eyes. It looks like it's just a plain black goblin head. Won't be using this ever, but cool that they included it. I don't mind having an extra head that I'm never going to use. It might have some other use. Here's a crossbow. It is blue and silver. Now the blue is because Stinkor's toys that Mattel has always released have always had a blue paint deco. That's kind of Stinkor's thing, so it makes sense that you have a blue shield, blue crossbow, blue sword hilt, blue everything. He's a blue kind of skunk monster. Mephitis is actually the scientific name for, common striped skunks. So, that's another reason for him to rename Mephitor. Here's the other shoulder armor so that he can have a matching set of 2. You can see that it's got a nice wash in there, so you can, I can tell there is a design because there's a wash in there. I can't really see it real well, but you might be able to see it better than me. Here is a belt thing of some kind. I think he can use this to hold his sword, some sort of sword sheath belt type thing. Here is his aforementioned shield, which is all blue. It's got a handle here on the back. And let me cut away from this so that I can futz around with these twisty ties for however long that takes me to fumble with them blindly until I can get them open without you having to listen to me awkwardly try to kill time for however long that actually is. Okay, we're back. And we're back. Okay, I couldn't actually uncurl these twisty ties, so what I actually did was I kind of pried at them until they weakened, and then I could just rip them in half. And now I'm ready to take Mephitor out of his packaging and see if this figure is actually worth the $49.99 paid for him on Big Bad Toy Store. So let's see here. I've got him loose, and let me pull his sword out of here, which is, thank God, not twisty tied in. Da-da-da. I appreciate all those other weapons just being in a plastic bag so that I did not have to try to fight to get those out. Looks like there was a piece of tape on this that I couldn't see but was there, but it's gone now. So here we've got Mephitor, and he does not have any alt hands or anything like that. He only has a sword holding hand, which is fine. It doesn't seem like he's a fist fighty type of character anyway. So let's see if I can actually get this sword into his hand without a problem. Well, it is a problem, but I'm still going to get this sword into his hand somehow. All right, Mephitor is now holding his sword. I will edit in some photos of him, out in the natural environment, being displayed, using his weapons, those sorts of things, so you guys can see what that looks like, to see if this is cool. But so far, he's a little bit petite. Not all Mythic Legion figures are this short, but because he's a goblin, he's a little bit shorter than most, and I think that's a-okay. That's the way I like it. Adds extra diversity in the different species that are part of the Mythic Legion's armies. You can move his head around here. You might notice that his head is a little bit furry, not really what you expect from a goblin, but that's because, even though he's using the Mythic Legion's 2.0 Kickstarter body, he has the head of Thistlethorn, the goblin from Mythic Legions 2, that was kind of furred, but he was kind of a more heroic-y type of goblin, so they were able to use that furry head here. This is, I think, only the second time it's gotten used. And here he is holding his sword, and let me see if I can get this shield into his hand easily. No, I don't want to fuck with that right now, so I'm not going to. But here he is. Here's the front, here's the back. He's got some little holes in the back. I guess you could try to attach wings or something. It can be used for different armor plates and stuff for customizing, but I'm not going to add any of that stuff on here. The belt in particular, his fuzzy underwear. Like, definitely makes this look like a Masters of the Universe homage. And I think this figure is really cool. I'm glad that I got it. It might be a little bit strange mixed up with other Mythic Legions figures, but for He-Man fans, like, this is one of the coolest things that I think has been released. I like this a lot more than the Man-at-Arms and Evelyn and Mossman homages and stuff that were done earlier in this line. I think, Stinkor, big win. Thanks a lot. Okay, that's all I've got. I'm going to edit in some photos, but he gets a recommend from me. I think everything about this is pretty cool. Quality seems nice. Joints don't seem too loose. I didn't break anything. I didn't love those twisty ties. The blue colors for the weapons are nice. And I'll add some pictures in so you can see if you think this is cool. There's still some Mephitors available on Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, thanks a lot. Have a great day, guys. Bye.